How's it going, everybody? It's Hao once again, and welcome to the Amateur Paleo Cook. Now, I was just recently at Chipotle Mexican Grill and got a burrito bowl. However, because rice and beans is not paleo, I couldn't get them, but I really wanted them. So today we're gonna make some arroz con pollo, or chicken and rice, paleo style. Let's do it. Okay, everyone, so for our paleo chicken and rice, we'll start out, of course, with 2 pounds of chicken. Now, you can opt to use chicken breasts if you wish, but I'm again using chicken thighs because I find the extra fat gives it a bit more flavor in this dish. Next, we have our chicken stock, and this again is the Kitchen Basics unsalted chicken cooking stock. And we have half a cup of that. Moving on, we have 2 cans of these chopped up green chilies, and they add some great flavor to our rice and chicken. Then we have 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of paprika, also 2 tablespoons of cumin. We also have 4 plum tomatoes. Now you can use 2 large tomatoes, but these were on sale, and so I'm using 4 smaller plum tomatoes. Then we have our rice, which is really the cauliflower. We'll be grating them up and then cook them, and that will act as the foundation for this dish. Then we have 2 limes. We actually going to be using a microplane to get the zest of one of the limes along with the juice, and the other one will be used as garnish. Then, of course, we have our old friend, our avocado oil. We'll be using 3 tablespoons of that. Cilantro, 3/4 of a cup of that, all shredded, and they will be used in a couple of different fashions. And lastly, we have some salt. All right, so let's get going. Okay, everybody, so now the first thing we're gonna do is to marinate our chicken pieces. I've diced those up. And then we're gonna add our 2 tablespoons of paprika, along with our 2 tablespoons of cumin, plus about half a tablespoon of salt. So I'm just going to eyeball it here. And now we're going to just use our hands, the best tool for this job, and then we're going to mix everything until all the chicken pieces are fully coated. And then we're going to let these marinate just at room temperature, uncovered is fine. And we're going to let them sit there for half an hour. Okay? And in the meantime, when they are marinating, we're going to be making everything else. All right, so these look pretty good right now. Right here. We're gonna let these sit for 30 minutes, and then next we're gonna make the cauliflower rice. Okay, so let's stay tuned. All right, everybody, so the second thing we're gonna do is to make our cauliflower into the rice in which we desire. Now, the first step of that is to cut the cauliflower into big chunks, as I have such here. Okay. Now, if you have a lot of time on your hands, you can actually mince up the cauliflower into the rice form. But I have found an easier trick. If cavemen had electricity and a food processor like this, guaranteed they will be using it right now. But this is not the most Paleolithic way of doing things. However, it is quicker, a lot quicker actually, and therefore I'm going to be using this food processor to chop up all of the cauliflower chunks into our rice form. All right, so all you do is just open the food processor, add in a couple of chunks of cauliflower. That was a little too big. And oops. Close the lid, give it a spin, and then when we come back, we're gonna be having to make all of our cauliflower rice. All right, so stick around. Okay, folks, so now that our cauliflower has all been minced up right here, and we're gonna be making our cauliflower rice, okay? Now, the first thing we're going to do that is to, in our cast iron pot right here, add 1 tablespoon of avocado oil. I have already turned the heat up to high, so it is ready to go. All right, we'll just give it a whirl so that the oil can be distributed evenly. And then here on goes in our cauliflower rice. So just add all of that in. Now, from that head of cauliflower, there's a lot of rice. But because this has quite a bit of moisture, it's actually not as dense as as it looks. All right. So I'll add all that in. Now, I know some people in the Paleolithic circle believe that white rice is actually okay to consume. If you're one of them and you have no problem with it, then go ahead and eat the rice. Rice is actually the least bad seed, if you will, out of all the other grains. But I am going the full route, and therefore we're doing this cauliflower rice. All right, so now that all of our cauliflower are in, we're also going to add the 1 tablespoon of garlic powder to everything, plus our half a cup of the chicken stock. That really gives it a nice flavor. We don't want to add too much moisture because the cauliflower already has a ton of water in them. All right. And then we're also going to add a nice pinch of salt, about half a tablespoon or so. So that's good. Let's just stir everything around so that all can be evenly distributed. All right. It looks great. I mean, I really couldn't tell between the rice and the real rice and this fake rice. Okay, other than the smell, really, that's at this point, that's about the only difference between the real deal and this current one. Okay, so now that's been all stirred up evenly. We're going to turn down the heat to medium and let it simmer for 15 minutes. When we come back, we're going to add all the other seasonings to it. All right, so we'll be right back. All right, everyone, so now that our rice has been cooking for the past 15 minutes, let's take a look. Ooh, look at that steam. All right, everything looks great. Now, we're going to add our lime zest. So here is a microplane. It's also called like a grater or a zester. And I've already started the process of zesting the lime. And what you want is to get all of the green parts of the lime and not the white, because the white part is actually bitter. And therefore, just scratch the surface of the green part. Okay, so just using a zester and the lime, and just go like this. Be careful about your hand, because it is a blade at the end of the day. So just go back and forth on the zester, and it should come right off. So as you can see, there's part of it, of the green is already gone and into the pot. Now, I have begun the process earlier, and that's what I have gathered from the zest of 2 limes, okay? So all of that goes in. And then we also want to add the lime juice of 1 limes. All right, so just squeeze the juice of that in. And if you have a juicer, that would be nice at this point. I do not, unfortunately, and therefore had to do it manually. All right, that's about good. Okay. Then we're also going to add a half a cup of the cilantro. So this is about 3/4 of a cup, and we're going to add the rest of it at the end. but half a cup of cilantro goes in right now into our rice. All right, so just roughly eyeball it. If you add a little bit more, it's fine. Add a little less, that's all right too. Okay. Now, stir everything around, and we can turn the heat off because the rice can just cook it by itself at this point. It smells absolutely amazing with all the lime, the garlic powder, and also now the newest ingredient, which is our chopped up cilantro. So it's looking great. All right, so that's about good right there. And the rice has actually reduced down quite a bit too because some of the water has been evaporated. Now, we're gonna let this sit just on the stove top until when the chicken is ready, and that's what we actually gonna be cooking next. It has been 30 minutes, and therefore the next step you'll see is gonna be cooking the chicken. All right, so stick around. Alrighty, so now that our rice is setting aside over there, they're looking beautiful. We're gonna be cooking our chicken next. So what we do is first add 2 tablespoons of avocado oil to our cast iron skillet now. And that has been placed on high heat already. And so it'll be ready when the oil has all been dispersed around the pan, and it is ready now. So we're going to add our marinated chicken pieces that has been sitting in the marinade for the past 30 minutes. And so let's just add that into our skillet right now. All right, that looks great. Let's just make sure that everything is in a single layer so that they can cook evenly. All right, so that looks good. So now we're gonna let this cook for roughly 8 to 10 minutes or until everything has been turned into a golden brownish color. And next we're gonna add the finishing touches to chicken, and then we'll be able to plate and serve. All right, so stay with us. Okay, everyone, so now that our chicken is looking great, next we can turn down the heat and then add our 2 cans of the green chilies. And I'm using, I think, yes, 7-ounce cans. So it's about 16 ounces or a pound of the green chilies can goes in. I'm using the mild version, but if you like to have a nice extra kick, you can of course use the spicier version. All right, so let's just mix everything around, and then we're gonna cook this for another 2 minutes or so until everything is all well distributed. And then next we'll have the final plating. All right, now here is the finished chicken pieces, all cooked up in that green chili. Then we have our cauliflower rice with the cilantro, the garlic powder, chicken broth, and all the other spices. And lastly, here is the finished bowl of our paleo chicken and rice. Now I have set the cauliflower rice on the bottom, then topped it off with some of that chicken mixture, and then added the diced up tomatoes, which I've done earlier, the chopped up cilantro, rest of that, and then 1 wedge of lime. All right, so next is of course the most important part and the exciting part of the day, tasting. Here we go. Okay, here we go, folks. So here is, again, our finished paleo chicken with rice, and now it is the most important part of the day. All right, so we're gonna squeeze some of that lime over the top. All right, the colors are just absolutely fabulous. The white cauliflower rice, the green cilantro, and the brown chicken, and also the red tomatoes. I mean, how can you beat that? Seriously. All right, so let's get some of that rice with the chicken and tomatoes and cilantro, of course. And voila, let's give it a go. Wow. Ooh. This is fabulous. The cauliflower rice is fluffy. The chicken is tender. That green chili really makes a difference in the chicken. It just gives that special flavor. And you can really taste the garlic and also cilantro within the cauliflower rice. Then again, you have that cilantro and the tomatoes on top. It just makes it a perfect combination for everything. Este arroz con pollo es muy delicioso. I think I just said this paleo chicken, well, this chicken and rice is very delicious in Spanish. I hope that's right. That is definitely a dynamite of a dish. Chipotle should definitely adopt this today and make all of us paleo followers very happy. All right, so that's everything for today. The blog has my recipe and it is posted below. You can also follow me on Twitter. If you give a like and also subscribe to my channel, that'll be again very, very much appreciated. I continue to thank all of you for all of your support. Until next time, keep it simple and live paleo, and we'll catch you next time. All right, thank you. Take care, everybody.